Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mary Angelirente, and I am here to present our research entitled The Competency Analysis of Learners in Mathematics 7. The researchers are Juana Hepilano, Edeline Cabaluna, Arjan Encanto, Rachel Jane Umag, Christine Joy Pitalios, and yours truly. Background of the study. Mathematics education at the 7th grade level is crucial for reaching foundational concepts with more advanced ideas and skills. Understanding learners' competency in grade 7 math is essential for their academic progress and future opportunities. This stage introduces complex topics like numbers, measurement, geometry, algebra, and statistics, promoting abstract thinking and analytical reasoning. Mathematical competency is a key learning outcome in schooling, encompassing arithmetic, algebra, fractions, decimals, percentages, and geometry. In today's digitized world, data literacy is also vital for personal decision making. The study aims to analyze learners' math competency and reasons behind it to improve teaching and learning. Teachers play a crucial role in learners' success. So, understanding their competencies is vital. Results will guide educational interventions and help learners see the importance of math in various life situations. Adapting a personalized learning approach may also enhance learners' performance and understanding of mathematics. Objectives of the study. This study aims to analyze the competency of the learners in Mathematics 7 in 4 national high schools and 2 integrated schools in the municipality of Gimbal of school year 2021-2022. To reach the aim of this study, the researchers addressed the following research questions. First, what are the most learned competency of the learners in Mathematics 7? Second, what are the least learned competency of the learners in Mathematics 7? Third, what is the competency of learners in Mathematics 7 when classified according to sex and school attended? And lastly, is there a significant difference in the competency of the learners in Mathematics 7 when classified according to sex and school attended? Conceptual framework. The independent variables are sex and the school attended, while the dependent variable is the mathematics competency. Methodology. The main purpose of the study was to determine the competency of the learners in 4 national high schools and 2 integrated schools in the municipality of Gimbal. The quantitative approach was used. The researcher gathered the data first, then made an attempt to construct interpretations from it. The respondents were classified using stratified random sampling and given a questionnaire that contains a 40-item Mathematics 7 competency test, which covers the learning competencies of Mathematics 7. The data collected was analyzed by the researchers to determine the competency of the learners in Mathematics 7, which includes the learning competencies in numbers and number sense, measurement, patterns and algebra, geometry and statistics, and probability. In this study, the respondents were stratified randomly as grade 8 learners in 4 national high schools and 2 integrated schools in the municipality of Gimbal who completed Mathematics 7 last school year 2021 to 2022. They were classified according to their sex and their school attended. The distribution of the respondents in 4 national high schools and 2 integrated schools in Gimbal is shown in the table. In collecting the data, the 40-item researcher made Mathematics 7 competency test questionnaire was used as the primary instrument. The instrument was validated by the experts in the field of mathematics and mathematics education. This instrument includes, first, their personal information form or their personal information, and lastly, a 40-item competency test. For the personal information form, the researchers used the personal information in collecting data regarding the learner's profile, which includes the name, which is optional, their age, sex, grade level, and their school attended. The 40-item competency test, this test was used in assessing the competency in mathematics 7 in grade 8. The test covers the learning competency of the subject, mathematics, as stipulated in the curriculum guide. Numbers and number sense, measurement, patterns and algebra, geometry, statistics, and probability. This was done to cover all competencies as stipulated and to have a fair distribution of the questions in the exam. In the table of specifications, questions were made for each learning competency that was anchored to Department of Education most essential learning competencies or the MELC. The test underwent pace and content validity by 3 experts in the field of mathematics and mathematics education. After integrating the corrections, it was pilot tested with grade 8 learners from 1 integrated school and 1 national high school. The result of the pilot test was subjected to item analysis, which resulted in 40 revised and retained items. This 40-item test was determined with a Cranbach alpha's value for internal consistency of 0.775, which indicates an acceptable level of reliability. The competency of the learners was based on the point percentage the learners got on the 40-item competency test and was described by levels. These levels are 0 to 10. Its description is poor. 11 to 20 is fair. 21 to 30, satisfactory. And 31 to 40 is excellent. The data for this study were statistically analyzed to answer specific questions and test the hypothesis. The parametric tools for research were used in this particular study. The Cranbach alpha was used to determine the reliability and validity of the researcher's item analysis results in the competency test questionnaire. Frequency count. The frequency count was used to determine the least and most learned mathematics competencies of grade 8 learners in Mathematics 7 based on the administered 40-item competency test. Item analysis. The item analysis was used to analyze the pilot tested items per content area, namely number and number sense, measurement, patterns and algebra, geometry, and statistics and probability. Mean. The mean was used to determine the average scores of the competency analysis results of the grade 8 learners. The standard deviation was used to determine the dispersion of the means obtained in the competency test questionnaire. The t-test. The t-test was used to compare the mean of the variables in testing the hypothesis if there is a significant difference among the variables of the study, which are sex and the school attended. Results and discussions. For the table 1, it shows the ranking results of the most learned mathematics competency of learners in Mathematics 7. So the most learned mathematics competency of the learners, the content areas are the statistics and probability, numbers and number sense, and the patterns and algebra. Table 2 shows the ranking results of the least learned mathematics competency of the learners in Mathematics 7. The content areas are the measurement, patterns and algebra, and numbers and number sense. Table 3. This shows the competency of learners in Mathematics 7 when classified according to their sex. Table 4. The competency of the learners in Mathematics 7 when classified according to school attended. Table 5. The t-test result for difference of the competency of grade 8 learners in Mathematics 7 when classified according to their sex. Table 6. The t-test results for difference of the competency of grade 8 learners in Mathematics 7 when classified according to school attended. Conclusions. In the view of the research findings of the study, the following conclusions is drawn. First, the most learned competencies are found to be the least analytical topics of the 5 main divisions of mathematics. The possible reasons why learners had a manageable time on these competencies are because of the simplicity of the topics or because they were discussed thoroughly and have a strong foundation in basic mathematics in elementary school. Next, the least learned competencies are found to be the most highly and analytical topics of the 5 main divisions of Mathematics 7. The possible reason why the learners had a hard time with these competencies are because of the difficulty of the topics or because they were not discussed thoroughly. The fair competency of grade 8 learners in Mathematics 7, when classified according to sex, may indicate that grade 8 learners have not yet mastered the necessary competencies in the subject matter as stipulated by the Department of Education, most essential learning competency. It may also show that their learning in the core subject Mathematics 7 is not yet enough to get an excellent competency. The fair competency of grade 8 learners in Mathematics 7, when classified according to school attended, may indicate that grade 8 learners have not yet mastered the necessary competencies in the subject matter as stipulated by the Department of Education, most essential learning competency. It may also show that their learning in the core subject Mathematics 7 is not yet enough to get an excellent competency. The most learned content areas are found to be the 3 main areas in mathematics, specifically statistics and probability, numbers and number sense, patterns, and algebra, which tend to be the most easily learned by the learners due to several factors, including the intersection of their cognitive readiness and basic mathematics skills, effective instructional approaches, and a well-structured curriculum. These learners demonstrate a capacity for abstract thinking, problem solving, and critical analysis, which is well supported by their educational environment. The least learned content areas are found to be the 3 main areas in mathematics, specifically measurement, numbers and number sense, patterns, and algebra, which tend to be the least easily learned by the learners due to several factors, including the conceptual complexity of these topics, insufficient foundational knowledge, limited access to resources, and varying learning styles, which contribute to the challenges in these areas. Implications. The result of this study shows that grade 8 learners had fair mathematics competency. Since there is no significant difference between learners' competency when classified according to sex and school attended, it is recommended that learners strive harder to learn math concepts. Additionally, mathematics teachers are recommended to find ways to deal with the learners in a more engaging manner. They may be able to consider using other teaching strategies, such as using tree diagrams or branching, recognizing patterns, using mathematical models and manipulatives, extending familiar concepts, and or revisiting the curriculum plan stipulated for better instructional purposes. It may help learners become more interested in learning and be able to widen their knowledge about a specific mathematical concept when an effective teaching strategy is implied. Recommendations. For the learners should try to strive harder to learn the math concepts. They are encouraged to be well informed on how their performance in the classroom and or national assessment examinations affects themselves and the school. They may be reminded of their responsibility that taking exams in any form is not just a measure of their competence, but also that of the teachers and the school system as well. For the grade 7 teachers, grade 7 teachers should find ways to deal with the learners in a more engaging manner. They may be able to consider using other teaching strategies, such as using tree diagrams or branching, recognizing patterns, using mathematical models and manipulatives, extending familiar concepts, and or revisiting the curriculum plan stipulated for better instructional purposes. For the administrators, the administrators should encourage teachers to attend seminars, trainings, and workshops to improve their teaching, which will be geared towards the attainment of quality education. For the parents and guardians, the parents and guardians should develop a keen awareness of the strengths and weaknesses of their children in mathematics. It would be easier for them to check their children's learning and capabilities through the results of this study. And for the future researchers are recommended to have a more comprehensive and detailed assessment review to enhance the competencies that learners should acquire in Mathematics 7, which includes qualitative means of soliciting data for deeper understanding to support the quantitative data provided. That's all. Thank you.